Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the news postcard on TayNinhTV with some last events now province products nationwide, and here are our stories today. Ladies and gentlemen, with advantages in agriculture, industry, tourism, and an increasingly complete transport infrastructure system, along with an important strategic location in the southeast region, TayNinhTV province is gradually realizing its goal of becoming one of the fairly developed provinces in the country. This is also an important driving force contributing to promoting the economic development in the southern region, and at the same time is a key connection center between Vietnam and the Asian region. TayNinhTV province is focusing on promoting the exploitation of the state budget revenue from key sectors. According to the provincial tax department, the industrial processing group continues to play a key role with the largest revenue proportion, mainly concentrated in industrial parks, clusters, and economic zones. In addition, the tri-civic logistics groups, especially the road transport, warehousing, and freight forwarding enterprises, also assessed to have a rapid growth rate and increasingly important contribution to the provincial budget. In addition, TayNinhTV province also focuses on exploiting the potential of sectors such as high-tech agriculture, electricity, and renewable energy. And by the end of August of 2025, TayNinhTV tax department has collected nearly 29,500 billion Vietnam dong, reaching for 94% of the central budget estimate and reaching over 1,034,000 compared to the same period in 2024. And at the conference on connecting supply chains of import-export goods and e-commerce in 2025 held in the morning, September the 6th, organized by the People's Committee of TayNinhTV province in coordination with the Ministry of Industry and Trade, the Deputy Minister of Industry and Trade, Phan Thị Thắng, emphasized that the conference aimed to consolidate and expand supply chains from the new chains in a sustainable direction, and thereby bringing the key products of TayNinhTV and Vietnam to the international market. Attending the conference, there were Secretary of Provincial Party Committee Nguyễn Văn Quyết, Chairman of Provincial People's Committee Nguyễn Văn Úc, and Vice Chairman of Provincial People's Committee Nguyễn Hồng Thanh, the Vice Chairman of Provincial People's Committee Huỳnh Văn Sơn, and the representatives of provincial leaders and provincial departments, branches, embassies, international organizations, associations, domestic and also foreign business groups. At the conference, the Secretary of TayNinhTV Provincial Party Committee Nguyễn Văn Quyết emphasized the importance of the event, considering it's a milestone that opens up new cooperation opportunities for the business community. The organization of the today's Connecting Conference is of the special importance, an opportunity for businesses inside and outside the province to meet, promote products, brands, connect, and establish relationships with domestic and also foreign partners, promote the trade, connect trade, expand markets, help logistics businesses, e-commerce, distribution system, and business association. It is also an opportunity for TayNinhTV province to introduce the potential strengths of the new TayNinhTV province, and also an opportunity for provincial leaders to express their desire to accompany businesses, diplomatic associations, distinguished guests to build TayNinhTV province to become increasingly rich, civilized, and modern. And with an estimated of GDP growth rates of 9.3%, TayNinhTV has risen to the group of 10 localities with the largest economic scale in the country. On that basis, the Deputy Minister of Industry and Trade, Phan Thị Thắng, suggested that the province and the business community should soon set an adoption strategy, promote advantages to improve the competitiveness and meet the market demand. I believe that with the efforts of the local government, the consensus of the business community, and support from the government, including the Ministry of Industry and Trade, TayNinhTV will continue to develop strongly, and the Ministry of Industry and Trade commits to continue to accompany TayNinhTV and closely coordinate in implementing activities to support the businesses, remove the difficulties, promote production, consumption, promote the trade, expand markets, connect the trade, participate effectively and sustainably in the global supply chain. The conference provided an overview of the export market situation and demand, import standards of each country, and analyzed the potential and room for expanding exports through the cross-border e-commerce, attracting attention and lively exchanges from the delegation businesses also. Not only the market information, but also the business deals brought to the businesses from that market, and with a large amount from many countries around the world coming here, there is the province business meeting with partners and partners learning about our tenant businesses. The highlight of the conference was a series of important cooperation agreements. The Department Ministry tried to sign a memorandum of understanding with the Latvian Chamber of Commerce and Industry on promoting the trade, technical and economic cooperation. Longang International Port, Portland Port of the USA, and Gothenburg Port of Sweden agreed to cooperate within the framework of Friendship Port Agreement. And in his closing speech at the conference, the chairman of Prince of Wales Committee of Tenant Province, Nguyễn Văn Úc, affirmed that Tenant Province is committed to always writing the most favorable conditions for the businesses and investors to promote the trade, expand cooperation, and develop production and business activities in the province. It is not just the beginning of the new journey of cooperation, so in the coming time, I call on the business community to continue to trust and accompany Tenant and Vietnam to expand the market to develop the global supply chain, bringing harmonious benefits to all parties. And we will have a policy mechanism to support the businesses in Tenant Province, and we will do it more fundamentally. The conference is not only a forum to meet and sign cooperation agreements, but also affirms the increasingly enhanced position of Tenant in the international economic integration strategy. This is the third time Tenant Province has organized the Import-Export Connection Conference, and it is also the largest scale event ever. Not only attracting a large number of domestic enterprises, the event also had the participation of diplomatic agencies, trade consultants, and business representatives from 25 countries and territories, including many large distribution corporations, leading logistics and e-commerce enterprises. This presence shows the program's increasingly clear attraction and effectiveness for the business community. And on the same day, the 2025 Import and Export Supply Chain and E-commerce Connection Conference continued with the direct B2B trade activities between the businesses. And in the trade area, many contracts and exchanges took place continuously and enthusiastically. Foreign businesses from many countries such as India, Pakistan, China, Japan, Austria, Poland, Singapore, etc. connected directly with Tenant businesses in the fields of agricultural products, the food, logistics, e-commerce, garment and supporting industries. In addition, many large retail corporations and distribution systems such as Central Retails, Aeon, Lulu, Walmart, Coppel, Lee Quinn also study products and discuss cooperation with the local businesses. And next, the business delegation conducted a field survey at Longang International Port and learned about the production and processing of agricultural products and Hoàng Phát Fruit Company Limited. And these activities not only help the international partners have a realistic view of Tenant potential, but also create more confidence for the businesses in promoting long-term investment and trade cooperation. And also within the framework of the 2025 Conference on Connecting the Supply Chain of Import and Export Goods and E-commerce, booths displaying typical products and export products of Tenant Province attracted the attention of many delegates.
In addition to key agricultural products such as citrus, lemons, dragon fruits, bananas, custard apples, rice, and so on, this year the province also introduced many new products in the fields of garments, electric equipment, and some other processing industries. These products are highly appreciated by many domestic and foreign enterprises and partners for their quality as well as market potential. The foreign enterprises come here are very large and everyone is very interested in the products. I have the opportunity to directly introduce my products, and the product is that my products are placed in a very solemn place today. The trust in my products is even stronger. The exhibition booths have contributed to enriching the conference, helping businesses have the opportunity to promote their brands, connect directly with international partners, create opportunities to expand the market, and promote long-term cooperation.
And ladies and gentlemen, if digital transformation in administrative agencies contribute to improving the effectiveness of management and operation, then in a broader sense, Tenant also focuses on spreading digital transformation into community life. Accordingly, TayNinhTV has promoted the construction of community digital technology groups and launched the movement Digital Education for the People. These are the practical models in helping the people gradually get acquainted with and apply technology in their daily lives. And today, TayNinhTV has established for 1,631 community digital technology groups with nearly 9,000 members. The groups are mainly composed of union officials, teachers, union members, the youth and digital technology forces at the grassroots level. The groups are actively operating in the communes, wards and towns, supporting the people to use online public services and make the cardless payments, install and use essential applications such as VNeID, electronic identification, and electronic health books, etc. Along with that, the digital education for all movement is also spreading widely through free training courses for the people, especially the elderly and the disadvantaged. And these models are making an important contribution to building digital citizens, digital society, and promoting comprehensive digital transformation at the local level. And ladies and gentlemen, in the process of building a socialist rule of law state, bringing the law into the people's lives has always been identified as a key and central task. Especially in TayNinhTV in recent years, many localities have synchronously deployed practical models and activities, contributing to spreading the spirit of rule of law right from the grassroots. And these efforts have created a solid foundation, contributing to maintaining the social discipline, ensuring security and order, and building the province to develop more and more sustainably. In turn, TayNinhTV legal activities have become a regular activity of the locality. Every month, through the activities of mass organization, the members and the people are updated and promptly informed about the new policies and related legal regulations, popular in the areas of life such as land, marriage and family, traffic safety, etc. It is the closeness and connection with the reality that makes the propaganda and dissemination of the law vivid, easy to understand, and creating the consensus and raising awareness of the law compliance. After studying the law, I also propagated it to my family members and relatives, and always implementing the policies of the party in the state. And there are some urgent cases in the locality. I explained to the people that the law is like that, what should be done, what should not be done. In parallel with the work of disseminating the law, the team of mediators at the grassroots level has also clearly promoted its effectiveness. Accordingly, with the right efforts of over 1,000 mediation teams with over 6,000 mediators in the whole province, the province's annual successful mediation rate has increased and always maintaining a rate of over 90%. By the end of 2024, the successful mediation rate in the province will reach 95%, and not only solving the conflict. The grassroots mediation team also proactively interface legal dissemination, helps people improve their understanding of the law, and limits disputes from arising. Previously, there was a dispute over land boundaries, and through this matter, the mediation team also set up to do a very good job. Because the mediation team is also a local person, also knows the law, so they explain the specific reasons to each side. There are the cases where it is reasonable and appropriate to resolve the issues, but if it is not applied and resolved rationally, it will not be effective and applied based on how it is balanced depending on the circumstances of that mediation. I will learn more about the articles and clauses of the land law and this law and that. In addition to practicing, I have to study, to learn and research. Notably, after the merger of administrative units, many creative firms of legal examination and education have been widely deployed and attracting the people to participate. The law learning competitions, state skills, and the electronic legal bookshelves model at the community activities points have contributed to bringing the law closer to the people and spreading the spirit of respect for the law from the grassroots. Help the people to understand their rights and obligations, forming the habit of living and working according to the Constitution and the law. And it is an important foundation for TayNinhTV to build a disciplined, fair, civilized society while contributing to the sustainable development of the country. And ladies and gentlemen, digital transformation has also been strongly implemented by the banking industry, contributing to ensuring the transaction safety and enhancing people's trust. Currently, 100% of the number of payment accounts generating transactions on digital channels have been biometrically authenticated, helping to reduce the number of the fraud cases by more than 59% and accounts related to fraud by 52%. The State Bank of Vietnam said that as of mid-August of 2025, the entire banking industry has nearly 124 million individual customer records collected and biometrically verified, reaching for 100% for institutional customers, and biometrically verified for more than 1.3 million records, reaching for 100%. And this has brought positive results in data cleaning, and the number of fraud cases decreased by more than 59%. The number of accounts related to fraud decreased also by 52% compared to before the time of biometric information comparison. And the National Credit Information Center has coordinated with the C6 of the Ministry of Public Security to complete the 6 rounds of customer data comparison and cleaning with about 57 million customer records offline. 63 credit institutions and foreign bank branches have deployed the application of the ID cards with the chips via devices at the counter, and 57 credit institutions and 39 payment intermediaries have deployed the application of ID cards with the chips via mobile application. Ho Chi Minh City, Hải Phòng, and Cái Mép seaports have just been ranked by the loyalists of the UK among the 100 container ports with the largest cargo throughput in the world in 2005.
Specifically, Ho Chi Minh City Seaport is ranked 22nd with a route port of over 9.1 million TEUs in 2024, an increase of 23.8% compared to 2023 and replaces higher than the previous year's ranking. Hải Phòng Port also made its mark when it reached about 7.1 million TEUs, up 12.8%, thereby rising to 29th place. Meanwhile, Cái Mép Port reached more than 7 million TEUs, up sharply by 29.2%, occupying 30th place, up 4 places compared to 2024. According to loyalists, the breakthrough of Vietnamese seaports in the past year is associated with the trend of restructuring the global supply chain. The U.S.-China trade tension has caused many international businesses to accelerate the shift of production and transportation to Southeast Asia, in which Vietnam has become a prominent destination. The Ministry of Finance said that as of August 31st, the disbursement of public investment capital was estimated to have reached more than 409,000 billion Vietnam dong, equal to 39.9% of the plan, equal to 46.3% of the plan assigned by the Prime Minister. According to the Ministry of Finance, under the disbursement rate, the disbursement rate in August was higher than the same period last year. The rate slowed down compared to July. The Ministry of Finance emphasized that promoting the disbursement of public investment capital is common responsibility of ministry, branches, localities, investors, and contractors, not the responsibility of organizations or individuals. To achieve the target of 100% disbursement of public investment capital in 2025, according to the government's resolution, the Ministry of Finance requests ministry, branches, and localities to urgently implement the allocation of public investment capital plans for 2025 that have not been allocated in detail by September 30. At the same time, units need to develop disbursement plans and targets, request investors to report disbursement progress on a monthly and quarterly basis, promptly remove arising problems of each project, especially problems with site clearance.
And the Government Affairs has just issued notice number 459 conveying the conclusion of Deputy Prime Minister Hồ Đức Phước at the meeting of the Steering Committee for the Price Management.
The Deputy Prime Minister requested ministry, branches, and localities to rightly monitor the world economic situation and prices of strategic goods to promptly respond and limit adverse impacts on domestic price levels. In particular, it is necessary to closely monitor prices of essential goods and important import materials, rightly regulate supply and demand, stabilize the market, and prevent shortages and price fevers that affect social security. The State Bank implements solutions to stabilize exchange rates and manage money supply to reduce import costs. Ministry and ranchers develop rice mismatch plans for 2026 and reports before October 2025.
And in the first 6 months of 2025, the agricultural sector faced many difficulties and challenges, in which the natural disaster and fluctuations in the world market has significant impact on production and export. However, the whole sector remains determined to achieve a growth target of 4% and $65 billion in export value, and this was the information at a regular press conference on the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment held on September 4th in Hanoi. Agriculture continues to be the sector that contributes the most to the economy's trade surplus with more than $13 billion with results. This result also reflects the timely solution of the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment in removing obstacles in administrative procedures in the context of reorganizing and rearranging the apparatus in localities. In addition to sending officials to localities to work with localities to resolve administrative procedures, the ministry has organized training courses and created a legal environment to promote exports, etc., and the number of proof of the solution being implemented seamlessly and effectively. Along with the optimistic signal about the exports, at this press conference, the environmental issues, household waste treatment, and land management issues were also of interest to the press. The first thing is for the people converting to residential land. It costs a lot, and low-income people find it difficult to buy a house. Regarding the first concern, the government has recently asked the Ministry of Finance to develop a special resolution of the government to resolve practical difficulties and shortcomings. Regarding the second concern, low-income people have difficulty accessing housing. This is the management function of Ministry of Construction, and the government has a policy on the social housing. The Ministry of Agriculture and Environment aims to continue to seamlessly and effectively implement the resolution. Laws, strategic programs, projects planning, and development plans for the industry and each sector in the last 4 months of the year, firmly pursuing the industry growth target of 4% in export turnover of $65 billion. And that's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us, and goodbye for now.